Hi everyone, I'm Sandra Lorenzi, French artist. Welcome to my house in Montreuil, near Paris. This is also my workshop, so follow me. I've been an artist for 11 years. This is the place where I make sculptures in installation projects. In my sculptures, I only use natural material, wood, stone, metal, like bronze or iron. My work is inspired by alchemy, energetic practices, political philosophy, history and mythologies. The issue of care, how to take care, is central to my approach. My great-grandmother was a medium. She has transmitted to me a kind of knowledge, especially a sensitivity for invisible worlds. I turn around these worlds, I create gateways to link them together. Here we have the booster energetic, based on lithotherapy and energetic practices. For this work I've used scallop shell to diffuse the magnetism of stone. The wood is acacia. I wanted to use coal other than as fuel, and at the same time still a fragment of the history of the mining industry. Today the loss and recycling of energy is a fundamental issue. I wonder about this invisible energy. Is it possible to recycle it too? How to revitalize matter made inert? How do the brain and the body react when subjected to this invisible energy? These are questions I would like to explore with scientists through neuroscience and cognitive sciences. This is my office. I write and I draw here. I write some kind of philosophical tale. In these tales, all the living beings are equal in terms of value. They try to understand how to change a human world into worlds where all the spaces will find their place in harmony, without connection of domination. But to succeed, they have to dive into their common history. When humans, plants, animals, stones were still considered as strangers. My writings generate drawings, like symbols. I make very colorful and magnetic drawings. They become kind of emblems of my stories. For me, the power of imagination and transmission are crucial. We need them to invent new ways of life. We need it to preserve life on Earth. Finally, let me read you a passage from one of my philosophical tales. The title is L'arbre suit. Premier mouvement, incendie. On pourrait croire que l'arbre suit, s'enfonce en vestige dans les méandres subtils, en proie au pire du mieux pour qui veut, épuisant encore les soluces des sols. Jadis il était parmi eux comme chacun en pluriel. L'arbre qui puise, l'arbre qui pointe, fier en axe, terrible en lumière, noir les jours de plaine. Au rythme carbure, la pluie ne manquait pas d'aviver sur nature la teigne du son droit. Combien se souviennent de son premier matin périphérique, le bourdon déjà enflé sans promesse de butin, et les pousses assignées à tenir la place du levant suivaient l'oracle en nuages s'épaissir. Planté là, contre eau des passions ferventes en contrebas, l'arbre est-il né suit pour allier aussi vite leurs combustions intimes? Aux marges les miteux, en âge d'abondance, les monts désertés font corps, même le bâton réduit au corps. Certains vous diront l'avoir senti se tordre les nuits où les membres tenaient palabre. Un enfant l'a nommé, comme ses mains l'étaient, aussi sale que décharge mine à jouer. Tu es l'arbre suit. Tes couleurs étouffent sous la neige, obscure et dense, d'un poison plus lent à souffrir. L'enfant était sage et promis au bruit. Il insuffla à l'arbre le goût des furies. It was a pleasure to welcome you in my home. Thanks for your attention. See you very soon.